Hi stock investors, JJ here. Welcome back. Well, today we're going to have a look at Dan Ives. What's he saying now about the AI revolution and the companies involved with that? Has he gotten some predictions? Let's see what he's got to say.
On here and turn to our next guest. He predicts the NASDAQ will have another strong second half. Tech stocks will be up as much as 15% for that period of time.
Wow, up 15% for the next 6 months to the end of the year. They've already gone up quite a lot this year. Very good year for the stock market.
For value, he says lean into software names such as Salesforce. Top picks include Microsoft and Apple. Yes, he's Dan Ives, Wedbush Securities analyst.
Yep, so the big tech name still obviously thinks he's going to rip. Let's see what he's got to say.
And he's right here at post 9. I think you've outdone yourself today. We're going to have to get a full shot at some point.
It's a wild shirt, isn't it? It's a wild combo. He likes the bright colors, which is definitely, makes him stand out in the tech world. I mean, in the investment world.
Japanese, the sneakers.
Yep.
Painted in Japan, I believe.
Yeah,
correct?
Japanese. Yeah, exactly. From an artist in Japan. So we could do the full shot.
We can get to that in a minute. But let's talk about why you continue to see and be the bullish Dan Ives that you have been for quite some time.
Look, and it speaks to our view going into the year, and NASDAQ 20,000 is ultimately where I think we head. Tech stocks up another 15% because even though this has been led by Godfather of AI, Jensen, Nvidia, the multiplier for every dollar spent on Nvidia chip, $8 to $10 flowing through the rest of tech. Software, infrastructure, semis, and I think now consumer AI revolution with what's happening in Apple. In my opinion, it is 9 p.m. in the AI party that goes to 4 a.m. And I think this tech...
Okay, so I think it's going to go on. Obviously, I think it's going to broaden out from the few names that it is now a little bit, I'd say, with Nvidia. But he has said before, he thinks this is going to go on for years, this AI boom. And others are predicting that it's kind of in a bubble and it's going to pull back a lot. But we'll see who's going to be right here.
Tech market, bull market's going to continue.
How long does it take to get to 4 a.m. though?
I think in our opinion, it's a 2-year tech bull market because
I think
the next phase, the second, third, fourth derivatives, it's about the use cases playing out. Of course, you see what's happening with Microsoft, the hyperscalers, Google, Amazon, but then next, it's going to be names like Palantir, MongoDB. I think what McDermott's doing at ServiceNow.
MongoDB took a dive, so yep, I think definitely thinks it's going to broaden out amongst those. Perhaps more software names than the hardware that's happening at the moment, although Microsoft is kind of everything, isn't it?
You look at Oracle. If someone told you Dell was an AI name 6 months ago, they'd say there's no way. Look at it today. And I think it's a 1995 moment, not a 1999 moment. I think numbers... Okay,
there you go. He said it. So 1995, obviously the tech bubble went to March 2000, so he thinks there's still years to go in this AI run, and it's not, we're not near that high yet. So I'm not giving any recommendations here, by the way. This is not investment advice. You need to seek your own advice and do your own work on these things. I'm just commenting on this is Dan Ives, what he is saying about this, what's going to happen here.
Numbers go up significantly going into next year, and it speaks to our view where the bears will continue to yell in their caves about valuation with their spreadsheets, but I think this tech market continues to move higher.
Have you been saying it's 95 for 2 years, Dan? How long does 1995 last?
So I think...
It's funny.
Look, and 95 ultimately becomes 96, 97.
Of course, yeah.
But the difference here is that you talk about the CapEx of Meta, 50 billion, what we're seeing Microsoft, 100 billion. As someone that covered tech back in the late 90s, this is not a bubble. This is not a 99, here it comes moment, which is, I think now it's about really a fourth industrial revolution. It's about that multiplier. Mm-hmm. Now it's software. And I think when you look at consumer, that's why Apple, it's going to be the renaissance of growth.
Apple Intelligence obviously joining the party, but these are the massive mega caps that have run up, and especially Nvidia. I mean, the multiples are getting up there. Well, could it go on? Of course it could. When things get exuberant, they can stay exuberant, as Hesse points to. 1995, I mean, even in 1998, you could have said things were expensive, but it went on for 2 years, so we'll see. Predicting is very hard, very impossible. Warren Buffett says don't do it. Howard Marks, these super investors don't predict the macro. Stan Druckenmiller might be the exception there, who trades on the macro from week to week almost.
That starts as AI-driven super cycle from Apple, and that Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia on the enterprise side, that's where I think it's a get out popcorn moment in our opinion for tech stocks still, 15% higher.
And even when you're sometimes negative on names, you seem to still be positive on them. I think of Tesla, which, by the way, you were right to stay positive because the stocks come back. But, you know, on the negative side, you do right. The losers are going to be, in this revolution, will be the tech players that get squeezed out of sales cycles, technology-driven platforms, and future growth opportunities because they don't have the tools, tech, or software engineers to compete. So what does that mean, and who is that likely to be?
Tesla having a good day. This is just as I speak. The market just closed not too long ago, up 4.4% when they said, I think it was up over 5 for the day. I haven't checked.
You've seen some of the disasters, UiPath, and some of these smaller players that have been squeezed out of sales cycles, what's happening across software. So I think what's going to happen is across software, across semis, it's not just saying AI 40 times in a conference call. Now, to Mike's point, now the next 6-9 months, it's about execution. I think strong gets stronger. I think a lot of the smaller players get squeezed out. Ultimately, I think that will be massive consolidation in terms of that phase for software. But I think any sort of hiccup that these companies, you'll see these stocks down 20, 30, 40%, which in our opinion is you focus on the themes, you focus on the winners, the Microsofts, the Apples, and then even go like mid-cap. I think in cybersecurity, and I talk about value, I think software and cybersecurity is where I see just massive value. Names like
those stocks have come down, some of those cybersecurity stocks, and some other tech names are way down software, so obviously thinks those are going to catch up rather than the AI names coming down.
CrowdStrike, Zscaler, Palo Alto continue to be that as a table pounder, even though, you know, many, including New York City cab driver, were bearish from Palo Alto 6 months ago. It speaks to what we're seeing with this cloud AI revolution.
All right, you're going to let us know when 99 2000 is coming, though, right?
But right now,
you won't be able to do that.
Is he going to say it's 1995 when more years to come? How many years can it be 1995?
And too bullish.
But the point is, it's 9 p.m. It is not midnight, and I think this thing goes to 4 a.m.
And this is a man who knows how to party. I mean, look at him.
Well, you know the old saying,
Look at 'em.
the clocks have no hands. That was a...
All right, so what do you think of that? Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you agree with Dan Ives here about what he says? Is it 1995? Is it only 9 p.m. and the party's going to 4 a.m.? Let me know what you think about that. And do subscribe here. This is a relatively new channel here. I've been going for a couple of weeks to reacting to the news, putting my commentary on it. That's why I button comment all the time. That's what I'm going to be doing. So do subscribe if you want more of this kind of content in the future. And I'll put a link on the screen to what YouTube thinks that you should watch next. It could be one of the videos that I've made before. They've done pretty well so far. So let me know, and do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.